So essentially we're going to be talking about Idubbbz today because Idubbbz overnight became the punching bag of the entire internet, and I'm not going to explain why because if you're watching this video you probably already know, but on Twitter, and you could probably tell just by looking at this, this is not Idubbbz himself, but this is actually Idubbbz's relationship partner, and essentially this tweet announced that, well, she was going to go and start doing some premium behind-the-scenes content on a website called OnlyFans, and well, you probably know what that is. So when people saw this is when the hailstorm of everything just basically went to crap, and Idubbbz became, well, Simpdubbbz, and we're gonna get into the video he just made today, and this is my raw reaction, just trying to, you know, basically get to the bottom of everything that's happening. Let's just get straight into it.
For those of you who are unaware of the drama I recently brought upon myself, I'll fill you in. My girlfriend started an OnlyFans account, which is a website where you can upload amateur porn. Anything from double penetration all the way over to lewd cosplay and everything in between. And I think all of it is cool.
I'm just gonna be straight up honest with you right now, but my first impressions on this, and knowing that this man's history, Idubbbz's history of, you know, being fucking Idubbbz, something about this just shouts, you know, that this is just one big bamboozlement or whoosh or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if something happens in the next day or something, and this all ends up being just one giant, like, internet content cop. Like, he's literally content copying the entire internet or something.
Yeah, I know. I didn't think it would be a controversial opinion either. A good amount of people...
Whoa, hold on. What do you mean you didn't think it would be a I mean, obviously, someone's going to think that's a little bit strange, so I don't know why you wouldn't know that that would, you know, kind of be a possibility to happen. It doesn't make sense why you wouldn't be expecting some kind of backlash after this, my man. Let's just be real. Especially you being, you know, well, you.
But there's a whole nother group of people who feel personally devastated and betrayed. You lied to us. First of all, I'm not your fucking dad. Like, if you don't want to look up to me anymore, that's fine.
I would think that some people actually do believe you to be their dad, Idubbbz. I wouldn't be surprised because you have 8 million subscribers, and this entire argument doesn't make any sense because any YouTuber of the caliber of Idubbbz clearly knows that they are respected by a lot of people. It would be like PewDiePie all of a sudden coming out and saying that he actually hates Minecraft. It's like, well, that doesn't make much sense. Of course people are going to be upset about that.
It's cool. But now that Idubbbz is a simp, now he's going to go in full baby Wawa mode. No, shut the fuck up, you dumb fuck. You don't get to haha funny yourself out of this one. You're a simp. You act all edgy and...
Okay, so basically he proceeds to, you know, read sarcastically and ironically some random kids' Twitter comments and use that as legitimate support for his argument into the idea that his fans are completely in the wrong and they're all basically like this as a 13-year-old is on Twitter.
Cool when I was playing with anal beads. It's cool when I play with anal beads. Do you think it was cool when I was running around in an oversized cop outfit? That was cool to you.
And here again with the same thing of like him trying to play the card of him not understanding why other people think he's respectable. You've influenced millions of people. Of course people look up to you. This doesn't make any sense.
It's because he's a hypocrite. He makes content cop and targets people, but he himself have...
And once again, he decides to choose like the absolute worst examples of the backlash that he got on Twitter. I mean, literally, you should go on Twitter and actually see some of the real backlash. I mean, I'll put some of the best comments I found up on the screen right now because they're a whole lot better than his selection. And obviously, I'm pretty sure that was purposeful.
You do realize there are guys out there in private right now jacking off to your girlfriend. But I guess it's out of sight, out of mind, it's not a problem.
That entire thing you just said is quite literally the most brilliant thing I've ever heard in my life. Well, people are just going to jack off to it anyways because, well, they exist, so why not just be okay with it and knowingly allow it to happen? I guess you're right. You know what? We should actually just allow murdering people to be legal as well because, well, if you just think about it, people are gonna go and murder people anyways, so we might as well just let them do it. The same thing goes for, you know, robbing a bank. Or, you know, anything like that. I mean, there's always going to be bank robbers. There's nothing we can do to stop it, so let's just be okay with it and allow it to happen. Unfortunately, Idubbbz doesn't understand the fact that people might think it's a little bit strange that he views his girlfriend as public domain. I mean, that's just not a traditional common sense or human decency thing to do. Whether you want to, have a different opinion or not. Like, that's just kind of, well, objective.
I don't know why everyone thinks that, like, I made a stand. I stood on top of a hill and I proclaimed to all my loyal Christian followers, no porn shall ever cross my screen. No woman that I date shall ever lower her standards to the point of being half naked.
Wow, man. Yeah, obviously you didn't specifically say that up till now. But believe it or not, your entire channel is based off of a character which portrays that attitude. So,
Do you think she's shooting fireworks out of her pussy? Do you think she's screening The Matrix Reloaded down there? It's not a mystery, it's a pussy, dude. And then there's no special pussy. It doesn't become less valuable the more people see it. If that's the case, my body and my person is the most valueless thing on the planet.
It's not about the physical characteristics of the, visual evidence in question that people are arguing about here. It's the rational side of things and the mentality that goes along with being okay with basically allowing someone who, for all intents and purposes, you should be highly connected with, your future wife, your life partner, etc. Generally, it should be kind of considered like, a valuable possession of your own. Not something that, should be shared with other people, whether it be physically or virtually. I thought that would be kind of common sense, but, all right.
And then future jobs, they might be a little bit harder to come by.
I think this is one of the most important opinions to highlight because it really demonstrates a severe lack of real-world experience when you're saying that future jobs are going to be harder to come by because of an OnlyFans account. Like, if you think this affects your standing or your social credibility in getting jobs, you are so sadly mistaken.
No, you're not. Posting porn online, either Pornhub or Snapchat Premium, you are going to 100% have trouble finding legitimate jobs in the future if you so try to. Because that is a clear social indication of the type of person you are. And this is emphasized through statistics. I'm not just, giving my opinion about this.
And I will also say, if you want to morally grandstand, one of the shittiest things that I think you can do morally is judging someone about what they did previously and not hiring them even though they're qualified for the job.
Wow, I know, man. I couldn't agree with you more. No one should do that, but the problem is, they do it anyways, so that deflates the entire argument whether you like it or not. Anyone should be able to hire anyone for any means, and decide to not hire anyone for any other means as well. Unless it's something as fundamental and basic as, gender or race, of course, then that shouldn't be in the question. But even then, whether you want to agree with it or not, those indications also determine whether or not someone could possibly be capable of being a good worker at a job, let alone whether or not you post your freaking asshole on OnlyFans. So, come on.
That commentary YouTuber who's known for criticizing others, much like me, would be willing to take the position that sex work is beneath them, that they aren't on the same level as sex work.
Wait, okay, well, hold on a second. Now, listen, alright, I'm not a commentary YouTuber, okay? No one watches this channel. We got 4,000 subs here, alright? But let me, don't get it twisted here. There's absolutely no connection between commentary channels and being an e-whore. There's literally zero connection with any of that. Like, whether you agree at them being on the same level of the spectrum or not.
You can add extra money as well, which, I don't know if it's really needed in that household, considering the dude will pull like 3 million views off of reviewing peanuts, but, okay.
Sounds like someone's a little bit salty. You do realize that if your partner is making a lot of money and is very wealthy, that doesn't automatically make you feel fulfilled in the relationship or feel like you're contributing enough, because based on your argument,
alright, man, okay, so basically, in order to feel like you're contributing more to a relationship, you have to post your asshole online? That's definitely a fulfilling thing I know I like doing.
Then I guess Jeff Bezos' son just should never work at McDonald's.
Once again, we're back at it with the absolutely nonsensical, random spiels of information that have no connection with anything. So we're jumping from literal sex work to commentaries. And then we're going from Idubbbz' girlfriend to Jeff Bezos' son. Look, man, Lex Luthor's son doesn't have to worry about anything, okay? He can literally secure the CEO position of Amazon or YouTube just by simply asking his dad for a Christmas present. I mean, literally, he doesn't have to try. Now, I'm just making a rash assumption here, but generally, I don't think anyone actually wants to work at McDonald's. I know that's just kind of like a crazy, presumptuous thing to say, but I mean, come on, really? No one wants to work at McDonald's, man. If for whatever bizarre reason he wants to do that, he should be able to, but once again, you're comparing McDonald's to, well, selling your asshole online, which has no correlation!
When you're speaking to a large group of people, and there's some dudes in the back shouting out their opinions like, I fucking hate thoughts. I hate whores. Women who sell their body online fucking suck. That's the worst. Instead of ignoring that and just moving on with my lecture, it might be a better idea to point those people out and say, yeah, I actually don't agree with that shitty opinion.
And the best part about it is, when I spout my opinion on how that's a shitty opinion, I'll call everyone's opinion who's different than my opinion a shitty opinion. Because that's literally the only thing happening in this video.
Because it seems like me just ignoring it has led to like a cultivation of a bunch of retards.
So basically, this part is by far the most golden part of the video. He tries to go in for the kill here. This is pretty much the finishing act of Idubbbz in this argument right here. He tries to pretty much overall wrap up all the arguments and claim that his entire audience is just a bunch of retards because all of a sudden he decided to change his very persona, which he built up his entire fame and audience off of, and not have any idea why anyone would think differently, or have any problem with the fact when he one day decides to break the ice and turn into something completely different. I have no problem with your opinion on this entire subject, and people aren't mad at you for that in and of itself. At least most of them aren't. But I think we can all come to the consensus that we have officially lost the war. We have lost the war to the simps. It's officially over. The last leader, the very last hope that we had to destroy them, has literally turned to their side. So it's basically over. I have respect and different respect levels for all different types of people for what they do, because you can control your life actions. You can control where you end up in life. I mean, I'm not going to say that I have the same respect for someone who does stuff like this as I have respect for someone who built up, you know, a billion-dollar business, or someone who built up something that can change the world, something that can save the world, or even someone as simple as a commentary channel which does something as little as just provide a little bit of entertainment to those who are in need of it. If you ask me to respect someone who literally has as little talent as to just sell themselves for such belittling value, then unfortunately I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Chief. It doesn't mean that I can't acknowledge them as a human being, and I can't acknowledge them as having their own personal decisions and being able to make them, but it doesn't mean I have to respect them, and I absolutely don't. But I will give them credit where credit is due, obviously, because, you know, when you're out there making that, you know, 7 figures off of this simple stuff, clearly I gotta at least respect the gain. So in my opinion, what's really happening here is that this is just all one big content cop to some extent. This is all just one big scheme. I feel like that there's just simply no chance that it's not, unless the coronavirus can pretty much mutate itself to alter the brains of people, in which case, well, all I can say is GG, but that's my personal 2 cents on it. Thanks for watching.